this wonderful distraction. Hi, Jojo. Okay, I probably won't keep this on the whole time, but it's so fun. Look at when I wiggle. Hi, Jill. I'm glad you're here. Okay, I must turn this off. I hope I can turn this off. Yes, I can. I'll just distract myself the whole time and be playing with those hearts. Hello, everyone joining. Yay. I'm so grateful for you joining me today. We're doing some romance over here. Let me play my romance music. It's very like summer romance. Yeah, some of you have been joining me every week, and some of you are joining me here for the first time. But I've been doing these weekly lives where we are actually kind of writing together. I love writing. I love, turn that down, I feel like I'm yelling. Hi, Shima. I love the power of writing, even the power of writing a list. Writing a list. Oh, hi. Can create something for you, right? There's something about for me, like the kinetic action, but putting words to the energies that I'm aware of. And so what we're actually writing about is we're writing about different types of prompts to start to break apart the lies of like low value and lack of worth. Hi, Gina. I haven't seen you in a long time. Oh, sorry, I just saw a request to join the video. I don't think Claire meant to hit that, so I'm gonna not bring her on, although I'd love to see her today. Okay, so this is what we do. We get on and I want to look at the value thing with you. We'll probably do some clearings. If you're new to access consciousness, everything I play in is access consciousness in some way. And we use something called the access consciousness clearing statement. So if you want more information on that, I'm not going to go into it, but you can go to theclearingstatement.com. Hi, beautiful. And yeah, you can learn how to use that magic wand on your own. Today, we're just going to use it. You can use it on anything that you want, even if you don't understand how it works. It still works. So the clearing statement is right and wrong, good and bad, POC and POD, all 9 shorts, boys, puppets, and beyond. So I remember years ago hearing a story about the founder and the co-founder of Access Consciousness. So Gary Douglas, the founder, and Dr. Day3-your is the co-founder. And there's this kind of cool story where they were just starting out with Access. They were traveling a lot, and Dane was always like making sure he had a shirt on when he was around anyone. Now, often when a bunch of guys are in a hotel room, like they might be in their boxers, but shirts come off and on. But Gary noticed this like constant like thing about Dane, like always making sure he was covering his body. So when Gary asked him about that, he's like, "What's up with that? Like, why are you always doing that?" And Dane was like, "Well, I have a like terrible body. Like I'm really ugly." And Gary was blown away, like just shocked at this idea that Dane had about how his body looks. Now, this is where our point of view literally will create our reality. So we'll take a point of view about something. It could be your body. It could be your brilliance. It could be your humor, your capacity to generate wealth, whatever it is. And we'll literally create our reality. We'll see it as true, even if it is not true. You can look in the mirror and see a incorrect version of yourself based on your point of view. So Gary asked him this question. He said, "Would you step into my body, look through my eyes, and see you through my eyes?" And so Dane did it, and he was just shocked at the truth of how he like physically showed up in the world. And it's so beautiful to hear that, because what we think what we see is real, but it's not. It's just a reflection of our judgments, our decisions, our presumptive realities. It's a whole reality. So if you, and we're just reacting to that reality in every moment, right? So if you look at these things that you felt like you have low value in, or that make you worthless or not worth much, what if those aren't even real and true? So we're at our first writing prompt. Are you guys ready? I have my little book. I like to write like with my hands. You can type or whatever you want. I had a really cool submission yesterday, so I'm probably going to read that a little bit later. But I want you to bring up something. It could be about your body, something that you're in judgment of, or that you kind of have decided makes you worthless. Not even worthless, but worth less. Do you know the difference that I'm saying there? Hello. Where you're not worth as much. So for some people, depending on like the country you live in, and like, so what's the like standard of reality based on like beauty? And so if you don't, you match, you take that standard, and then your value is somewhere on that line, right? Hateful. And so if you're close to it, then okay, you have worth. If you're not close to it, then as beautiful as you are, it doesn't matter. If you're working with the standards of this reality, then you're not beautiful. Now, I don't want you to just look at body. I want you to look at being too. I want you to look at the things that you have decided or have been told to impelled at you, that your being is worth less than something else because you don't reach some standard. Okay. So you have at least one item, I hope. All right. Get your pens ready, because you're going to write this down. The value of writing it out is to actually like bring up this energy in a different way, and then we're going to go in and clear it. So I want you to take whatever that item is, and then I want you to pick someone that just not has like rose-colored glasses for you, but actually sees you, acknowledges you, and sees the greatness of you. You know the difference? Like sometimes you have like those moms that are like, oh, everything you do is wonderful and I just love you dearly. That is so nice to have. Those moms are great. But I'm looking at those people that really see the greatness of you, even when you're not willing to see the greatness of you, even when you can't see the greatness of you, they have this sense of acknowledgement, not positive judgment of you. If you don't have one of those people, then you can use consciousness. Okay. And so now you're going to, so first at the top of your page, just write down like whatever judgment you're working with here, whatever low value thing. So it could be like success, money, body, relationship, career. Okay. Okay, you wrote it down. Now you're going to look through the eyes of that person at you, or look through the eyes of consciousness at you. And I want you to start to write down what you're noticing. And so you could do this in a story format, like, you know, he saw her with such adoration and grace. And you can describe it that way. Or you can just make a list. If you're not like into the story writing, you could just make a list of like magical, creative, like, you know what I'm saying? Okay, so start working on that and we're going to keep playing. I'll turn the music up a bit. Woo! If you're a quick writer and you already finished that one, go on to another one. So take another judgment that you might have about yourself, about your self-worth, about your beauty, about something, about anything. And you can even pick a different person and you can look through their eyes at you. And again, if you don't have anyone in your life, I know I didn't, that you felt really saw you, then look through the eyes of consciousness because it sees you. Or, you know, maybe you believe in God, or maybe you have some kind of religious belief. You can look through the eyes of them. Look through the eyes of the earth at you. Would you be want to receive that? And so what's so cool is if you're using kind of like energetic beings, like even if anyone wants to use me, like feel free. And sometimes if you're looking through the eyes of them at you, you might start to sense like what they perceive about your body or your world, which is really cool because that can open up some awareness for you. And then you can use that same that we talked about to actually clear out some of these limitations and things that are holding that in place. So remember, it's just perception that creates your reality. It's not real or true. Oh my God, I have to read this quote to you. This is so cute. This is in my book. At the beach, hopefully going to the beach today, later. At the beach, life is different. Time doesn't move hour to hour, but mood to moment. We live by the currents, plan by the tides, and follow us. That's why I love summer, because it has that like timeless space about it. I have a question for you. And if you're still writing, just keep writing. Don't worry about it. Do any of you actually kind of work hard at holding in place the thing that you've decided makes you less valuable? So if you decided like your level of success makes you less valuable, or if you've decided your like status in of beauty makes you less valuable, your body shape or your relationship, whatever that is, do you actually fight to keep it there, but feel like you're fighting to get rid of it? Yeah. So then the question to explore there is, what have you made so valuable about your lack of value? I think that's our next question. With anything, especially if you've been using the Access tools for a while. Oh yeah, thanks for comments, guys. It's so much nicer when we're interacting and I'm not just talking to myself. Seamus says, if you don't know your space in the world. Yeah. I would love to know more about your space in the world. Says, yes, a little. Yeah. So anything that we have that hasn't changed when we've used the Access tools, usually it's either one, it's not ours, so we can't change it, or it's actually something that we love about it. There's something we've decided or presumed that makes it valuable. And so we'll actually fight to the death to keep that limitation while hating it, while feeling like we could never change it because we can't change it because we're fighting to keep it. Parse is looking for a formula to change it. Yeah. Well, what if there was no formula? But also you could look at like, what have you made valuable about what makes you less valuable? So if it was money or career or body or whatever, okay, take it. So what have I made valuable about having no money that makes me less valuable? Everything that brings up a lens down. Here comes the clearing statement. Will you destroy and create it, please? All right, we're gonna get back and talk about it all. Any choice of ways puppets. Me on the Secret Agenda reads, fraud patrols possibly popping for some people. I mean, if you've decided you're a fraud, you would make sure it would be valuable to not be valuable. It'd be as simple as like being a kid and, you know, the only time you ever got attention was when you were doing pathetic, right? Oh, someone tried to call me. I'm back. So then you decide, well, that's what makes you valuable, is like how pathetic you can be, because that's when you get attention. And then as you develop and you get older and you grow up, you're like, oh, I hate being pathetic. Like, I hate this pathetic energy that comes up all the time. Like, I feel like it makes me less valuable. And so then you're trying to fight to like, I won't be pathetic anymore. But in like your foundation of being, you have locked in that that's your way to receive love. You're not going to give that up. And that could be for money too. When they like, if you're pathetic with money, then that's the only time like your family's ever been kind or generous or giving you attention, or they stop judging you because they hate when you have money. Like you have to really go into your own world and explore that. But the truth is none of this shit has anything to do with someone's value. We think it does. We create it that way. I could meet a billionaire tomorrow that doesn't care about the earth, doesn't care about consciousness or people, and just loves creating more money. And I don't see them as more valuable than someone living on the street, doesn't have a penny to their name, but is so caring, so willing to give someone a smile and just be in the world. What is valuable to you? Is it actually the things that this reality says are valuable? Perfect body, tons of light, perfect relationship. So look at that thing that you made valuable about what makes you less valuable. It slows me down because it anchors me to this reality, because it makes me seem more human. I must save humankind. Yeah, the games we play. Oh, hey Sarah, welcome. Okay, so one more writing prompt for today. Okay, so we're not gonna go into specific kind of judgment or whatever. But we're gonna just look at the whole being and the body. And I would like you're gonna write a letter now. It's gonna be a love letter. Okay. Full of adoration and acknowledgement, not from positive judgment, but from what's true. And what I'm going to ask you to do is to actually, and for some people, this might be a little weird, but just play with it and see what shows up, okay? So I actually want you to look through your eyes at you with truth. And then either write a story, could be like I saw her over there laughing inappropriately as usual. And I couldn't help but notice the gentleness in her movements, the kindness in her eyes, and the gift that she was trying to invite the world to. So you can go into a story like that, or you're going to write a love letter. So it'd be like, dear you, beautiful you, I want you to know that I see you right now in this moment. I see your struggles and your fears. I see the greatness that you're not always seeing about you. I see the way that you always move forward. I see. So, okay, I don't want to talk through your whole thing. So you start writing. That's going to be the last prompt for today. Remember to demand truth so that you're not seeing the judgments or the lies. You're actually receiving the truths. And open as you're writing this, okay? You're opening up and you're gifting something to you, from your being to your being, from your body to your body. Let's fall in love with ourselves. And just for a moment, for those that just joined us, we are doing some writing prompts. You're taking a moment to look at you through the eyes of you with no judgment, no point of view, with truth. And you're writing yourself a love letter, a story of love. Hi. Imagine we could truly see ourselves, not from the judgments and the lies and the false realities, but from what's true. Really see that beauty, not just physical beauty, but the beauty of the being. A little bit more writing time. I love this song. It's from The Greatest Showman. Rewrite the Stars. We're kind of rewriting our love story right now. So in Access Conscious, we talk about something called intimacy. And these writings that we've been doing, like the more intimate with you you're willing to be, the more powerful this exercise will be. So that's to really truly be vulnerable. And that might mean vulnerability doesn't always mean like, tears and bubbling over emotions or energies. And it can. And sometimes vulnerability is just being in awe of what you're aware of, that all walls and barriers keep you from. If we put walls up let me know if you guys can hear me okay. If I'm too quiet, I can turn down the music a bit and speak louder. But we put walls up to our very being. We put walls up with judgments. This is what a judgment is. It creates a barrier and a wall. So thanks, Shema. So if you're judging like your body, you're separating from it. You're not being vulnerable with it. And when you're vulnerable, not only do you have so much more awareness and communion, but there's a lot more available to you to create and to receive and to choose. So imagine being like truly vulnerable with your being and with these things that have kept you from loving like everything about you, good about you, bad about you, the ugly, everything. If you love, not from distract or implant, but if you're just like, oh my God, that's so cute, I'm creating that stupid money thing again, or oh my God, I'm so cute, look at me, totally destroying that relationship. Just to be totally vulnerable and not judge. I think a lot of people avoid certain things about themselves. And you can always sense it. Like, say they're uncomfortable. Say they're in a social situation, they're so uncomfortable. And they're like trying to pretend that they're not, but also, so they have that pretense with who they're interacting with. So they have the lack of vulnerability there, all the walls. But then they're also trying to like convince themselves and avoid their own discomfort just so that they can function. Yet, I wonder if they were to go to vulnerability, what would you discover? Maybe it's not your discomfort. Maybe you're aware of something that's going to happen that night, and it would actually give you more information to have more choices. Maybe a million things. What if the more vulnerable you get with yourself, the more you actually adore yourself? Because if you have a lot of judgments of you, you're probably thinking that if you were really vulnerable, then you actually wouldn't like the person that you are. And what if that is so not true? What if it's the opposite of what you would presume? Keep changing the music because suddenly I'm not enjoying this playlist. Like, where did we go? And some weird land of some thing I'm not enjoying. Let's try this. That's pretty. So I kind of want to leave you on this piece of vulnerability today and to look at, you know, obviously for these writing exercises, but just in your life. Are you willing to be vulnerable? Are you willing to stop pretending that you are something or you aren't something? And here's the thing, if there's something that you don't like about yourself, one, there's probably a potency in it somewhere. But you aren't a done deal. You know, psychology will kind of say that, you know, after, you know, we've constructed ourselves after a certain time or whatever, and we have, like, we've created all these, like, false beings, and we've learned how to navigate the world by the time we're an adult, right? And, but it's not actually you. That's the funny thing. It's not you. It's a role you're playing. So what role are you playing with money? It's not you. That creates you not adoring yourself in that. What if you adored the way that you were with money? Oh my God, I love how she's with money. I love how he's with money. Have you ever been that way? Like, oh, I love how they commune with animals. Like, it's so beautiful. It's when I see Dane with his horse, I'm like, oh, you know, imagine having that for you. I love how they are, like, so creative and free in their relationships. I love how they're so, like, fired up and ignited and inspired with their business. So that's what we're looking at stepping into with these weekly lives, is to really fall into that adoration of everything, no judgment. You know, Gary was once at a Right Body for You, I think it was a facilitator's training, and someone was talking about their, like, belly weight, and they were like, I hate this belly fat, I want to get rid of it. And Gary's like, well, why don't you love it? And she was like, oh my God, no. As if that was going to make it grow, make it worse. He goes, what if you just loved it? What if you just loved it? And I could perceive, like, this, like, these judgments starting to crack in her world about it, right? Because if you're coming at something from judgment, whether it's money, body, relationship, your capacity to change it is diminished by the degree of judgment that you are functioning from. The less judgment you have of anything increases your capacity to change and have and create anything. So how vulnerable with you can you get? And when we're writing these love letters, these stories, it's not about making someone perfect. It's not about trying to see you as perfect or see you as flawless or see you as worthy from this reality standard. It's actually about breaking all of that shit apart. And it's about acknowledging the greatness that is true and getting out of judgment of the things that you've decided are not acceptable. Hi, Kelly. Welcome to the live. We're just wrapping up here. But if you want to join us next week, we're going to be here again, same time, 9 a.m. PST, for the rest of the summer. We'll have more writing prompts next week. And for any of you that have missed, that want to catch up, on my YouTube channel, maybe we could put a link at some point. we're putting up the replays so people can check them out and do the writing prompts if they want. And, you know, for those of you that are like really phenomenal writers, you might have wished you had more time on particular prompts. So you can go there and pause the video and write and write and write. You know, have fun with it. Well, thanks for spending Wednesday morning with me. I'm grateful for you, and please come back next Wednesday. Bye for now. Bye for now.